welcome to Strange Talk today. Thank you for joining me and my special guest today, who is the 30-Minute Millionaire and my coach, Gary Massari. But let me tell you a little bit about Gary before we get started, or introduce him to you. Gary and I met on LinkedIn. Gary is one of the top, or Gary had one of the top wealth building radio shows called The Bridge in San Francisco Bay Area. He became a partner in a $10 million mortgage company on a handshake from a relationship he built 25 years earlier. Great coaches seem to be able to see things that others may not see and are committed to developing this talent. Gary did just that. He became a top MLM coach by mentoring one of the highest female income earners in the industry. Gary also became #1 in the nation through his hugely successful marketing campaigns. He is a professional speaker, a great coach, and as you and I know, great coaches are great life and business teachers. Lastly, on the important topic of Strange Talk today, he is the most incredible LinkedIn relationship builder I have ever known. It gives me great pleasure today to welcome you to the show, Gary. How are you today?
Well, Heather, that was a great introduction. I'm almost embarrassed. That was so great. No one ever talked about me that well before, but thank you. Bless you for doing that. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thank you for the invitation.
So let's get started. What I want you to share with myself and the audience today is how you secured the partnership with the $10 million mortgage company on a handshake.
Well, that's a great question, and it's one of the things that I'm very proud to say that I built a relationship with my mentor when I came out of the corporate world and I went into real estate. And this mentor that I had, I think everybody needs a mentor, but this mentor was so valuable. What a great relationship we built. He taught me everything I needed to know about selling real estate. I went to his office before I even got my license and watched hours and hours of marketing and training videos that he gave me free to watch. So it was really remarkable. Well, I was in a bad partnership building a company around the Bay, and this partner wanted to take money out of the company. I wanted to expand it. I had a vision and picked out all these locations and knew exactly where we're going to go with this, and I was the broker of record. And anyway, it just didn't work for me. So I called up Glenn from my 25 years ago, and I said, Glenn, I got this vision to build this mortgage company around the Bay Area called San Francisco Bay Mortgage. And he goes, well, Gary, I got the same vision. So he was in Texas when I made the phone call. He flew back the next morning to meet with me. And we sat for 3 hours, and he said, Gary, he said, I want you to come in and help me. He said, I want you to be my partner. And then I became his partner and his top sales and marketing trainer in the company. 58 branches, 1,200 loan officers, 200 employees. And I thought, wow, on a handshake, I was made a partner. So connections and relationships are very valuable. I've always loved this man, cared about this man, and boy, what a great relationship that was at 25 years later that he changed my life. You know, so anyway, thank you for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. That's a great story. I love that story. You mentored a female MLMer to the highest in the industry. Tell us that story, Gary.
Well, what happened is I called this lady who was one of the top people, and I always really watched her and recognized her, and we had a long talk one night and about how the industry's changing. A lot of people just just got burned out on calling their warm, on the warm market, calling their friends and their families, and boy, they just get beat up so much, and they burn through those relationships so fast. And we talked about that. We talked about how the industry was changing and needed to move more into social media marketing and online marketing. And I think we talked for 3 or 4 hours one night. Well, the next morning she called me up and she made me this incredible, I don't even want to say it, it will shock you if you knew the offer that she made me. And she said, would you build me that system we talked about last night? And I had to calm down the offer and take less money because I just didn't feel, she was so excited about this new marketing online and social media marketing, and that's what we're doing now. But I did take it, and I built her a website, and we did do it, and I wrote 2 books with her, and it was just a fabulous experience. So again, there's another relationship that we built, know, like, and trust with a person I really love and adore. So she mentored me more than I mentored her, to be honest with you.
Wow, that's wonderful. And it sometimes can be very reciprocal, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, you also had a very successful marketing campaign that you launched. Tell us
Right.
about that, Gary.
Well, you know, in marketing, I discovered that if you can find the right message from your heart and get that message out to the right people at the right time. So the three things were find the right message to the right people at the right time. Timing had to be important. And I wrote a postcard. I was in the mortgage business, and I wrote or designed a postcard and drew a big heart with an arrow through it. And it just simply said, I love bad credit. Well, most of the people at the time I sent this out were being beat up. I mean, this whole credit industry started changing, and people had to walk on water to get loans, you know. And so the phone rang off the hook every 8 seconds, and we had the type of loan packages that can help people finance and get out of debt and pay off things. And boy, I'll tell you what, we grossed over $300,000 in 6 weeks, and became #1 in the nation. They still have the postcard framed at this particular company, which I won't name, its office, you know. So that marketing came natural to me, but later as I started to realize that and study under people like Dan Kennedy and David Garfunkel about copywriting and sales messaging, boy, they taught the same thing. I just didn't know it. You know, I was a natural at it, but then I started studying it and perfecting it, and I just found out if you say a lot with very few words, but send a message out that's going to emotionally hook to people and get people connected in a way that's going to help them and talk about benefits to them, it changes everything. People will respond to a message when they feel you're going to help them. So that's what I learned about marketing. Talk in terms of benefits, not features, not how great this is, but what can you do to help somebody move their life or their business forward? And if you can get that message right with people, people are going to respond to you. So anyway.
That's powerful, Gary. Thank you very much. Who is Success in Minutes that you're affiliated with now?
Well, Success in Minutes, what attracted me to Success in Minutes is having a school that people can come into and learn really the psychology and the mindset of what it takes to have a successful entrepreneurial business. You know, social media entrepreneurialism is very powerful right now. It's a big movement in our country. It's going to digital marketing, which means that people are going to be doing marketing and connecting with people on their iPhones, their smartphones, their Androids, their tablets. All of that is right now. It's not coming. It's here right now. I mean, these young kids out of college right now, I mean, that they grew up with this. And so digital marketing is very, very powerful. What Success in Minutes did, and what why I line myself up with Robert Hollis and Bill Ebert is these guys are not because they're millionaires and they help millions of people make a lot of money. The point is that they have huge hearts. And they said, look, 97% of the people that get into home-based businesses at home need the money, but can't make money because they don't have the skill sets in marketing and sales. Why don't they come into the school? We'll give them the 90-day training for free. Let them figure it out, and we'll help them. And we'll help them become successful. And then if they want to invest in our mentorship programs, which are they're ridiculously reasonable for under $100, they can get 3 millionaire mentors. I know that's phenomenal. And we can help those people to be successful at something that most people aren't successful. So that's what I love. They saw the need, again, the people at the right time and the right message. And the need was teach people how to market and how to do sales online, and then let them go after a venture or open up a company. Okay, it just made sense to me.
Hmm. And what is one of your favorite social media platforms, Gary?
Well, you know, I like LinkedIn, and the reason, Heather, LinkedIn is so important is because it's more for an entrepreneurial business person. It's more professional, aligned with people. And it basically has been designed for that purpose, whereas Facebook is more of a social platform where people want to get to know each other and all the fun things that they do, and they both serve a purpose, you know. But really, if you're serious about building a business and you have this entrepreneurial heart or mindset, you know, you can go on LinkedIn and you can connect with anybody in any country, any city in any country. You can connect with people with other MLMs or in direct sales or networking or social media marketing. You just can be more specific about who you're targeting and connect with those people if you know how to do it. The search engines in LinkedIn are powerful, and they also have robotics, which means that robotics is just the short term is bots. They call it bots. But it actually searches like a spider, goes in there and searches out other people that you're searching and brings them to your attention that you can connect with them. And then it also has a tracking system that you can actually put your people that are following you into a group and say, hey, is this a candidate possibly that might be interested in social media marketing or whatever, direct sales company you're in or whatever business you're in. It could be insurance, mortgages, and real estate. It doesn't matter. And then you can create that, attract those people and make notes as your dialogue progresses into building a firm relationship with them. So I think LinkedIn is the most powerful tool out there to build a customer base and to get connected with people and get people to know, like, and trust you.
Thank you, Gary. So ask you, the audience today, are you tired of people throwing links at you before they get to know you?
Oh.
Many people grow large groups of connections on LinkedIn, but few reach out to really build the relationships the way you do, Gary. Can you explain to our audience today how you do that?
Well, Heather, you're right. People are so inundated with all of these commercial calls. Think about this. When you're, how many, do you know you get 3,000 commercial impressions a day, the average person? If you really count them in 30 minutes from your car radio to your TV to your voice broadcast on the phone, it's crazy out there. We're so commercialized, it's like we put up the shields of resistance. When you build a relationship of know, like, and trust, it makes all the difference in the world. But as simple as this, today we teach that what we call being a solutions provider. That means when you get to know somebody and find out what their challenges are and what their passions are, then you're the instrument that's going to help them to get there and to move their businesses forward. That's what's important. So if you create a relationship where you care about people, it's incredible. People will care about you. And I'll tell you this, you don't have to ask for the business. When people find out who you are and what you've done and that you're growing and you're passionate about what you do, they'll ask you. It's amazing. They really will. So sending links to people, that's the worst thing you can do. That just violates the relationship. Okay, I love my online family. I got some great friends there. I'll do anything for my friends. So and they know that. And that's the sense that they have to feel from you when you connect with them, that you're there to help and support them. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense, Gary. The other expression, and you've just touched on one, you like to do business with people you know, like, and trust, but the other one you use a lot, which I think is equally as powerful, is people don't care what you know until they know what you care. No. And that's really, really important. And do you believe that your approach, building that relationship first, is a new approach to LinkedIn?
Well, a lot of people there really that I run into, Heather, know that, but I don't see a lot of people using that. People are not taking the time enough to, they just want to hit connect or hit like or hit follow, or connect with me or subscribe to YouTube. The real truth of it is that you've got to get in a dialogue, and you got to listen to people and understand people and where they're at and what they want. Some of the questions that I ask people all the time is, what do you do for fun? Tell me a little bit about yourself. All right, what are some of your challenges? Maybe we can share points of interest, and maybe we can share we can refer people to you. And I always ask them, what can I do to help you or move your business forward? Just let me know what I can do for you. And if I run across somebody, I'll be glad to refer them.
Excellent.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today, Gary. Really appreciate that. And aside from all the learning, especially on your new and leading edge approach to LinkedIn, which I believe it is, and your association with Success in Minutes, the most impressive thing to me about you is your compassion and your kind approach to caring about people first and then developing business afterwards. And I truly believe, Gary, that separates you from many. I also like that you reach out to connect with people from all different socioeconomic levels to help them on their life's path. I now pass the close of the strange hour back to you, Gary, for a few golden nuggets of Massari wisdom.
Well, a couple of things that I discussed with you, and we just had a little session this morning. But if people would just stop and think and reflect on what they really want in life, and I always teach people to do this. If you build a foundation of what you want your life to be, not what your life is. Get away from scarcity thinking and start thinking future thinking or prosperity thinking. So determine the lifestyle that you want, why you want it. It's not about how much money you're going to make. It's what you're going to do with the money. And I'll leave you with this. If you write a vision story about the way you want your life to be as if you're already living it, it's called the law of correspondence, I promise you things will change. You know, as you start visualizing that and believing it and reviewing it every day and set your whole foundation, your goals, your plans, and everything about building to that lifestyle. Recognize you're going to have challenges. Recognize that you're going to have to increase your skills. All those things are part of the equation, you know. And the last thing, if you want to get to that lifestyle that you want for whatever reasons, for service, charity, humanity, and live a life of significance, find a mentor that's already done it. Because that mentor can get you there, where most mentors, if they're just starting out like you are, or they're struggling like you are, that's not going to get you there. Find a mentor that actually has achieved that. And I think that's the smartest thing that anybody can do, is find somebody that's been successful, that's already accomplished that, and find out what they did, what their struggles were, and they'll spend time with you. Most people I know that are highly successful, if you're serious, they will spend time mentoring you and give you a 10, 15-minute session. Now, they're not going to coach you for free, but I promise you that they'll help you if you just give them a phone call. They'll spend 15 minutes to 30 minutes with you. I know I do, so I know they would too. So that's my advice.
Thank you, Gary. Really appreciate that. Well, that brings to a close another exciting episode of The Strange Hour. Thanks for joining, everybody, with my special guest today, Gary Massari. Love talking to you, Gary.
All right. Well, thank you, Heather, for having me. Hope you have me back. Okay.
Yes, certainly will. Okay, so for more information on social media platforms, success in minutes combined with coaching and mentorship to take your business to a whole new level like you've never known before, please contact me. I am an open networker on LinkedIn. I'm on Skype, Faith and Hope 23. I'm on Facebook and Google+. So don't hesitate to reach out to contact me. Phone number 416-913-0485. Let's set you up in a three-way call with Gary Massari. You can speak to the man himself, and look forward to hearing from you. So see you on the next episode. God bless everybody, and bye for now. It's Heather Strange.